Morning, LinkedIn. I hope this finds you all so well. I would like to rant with you, not at you, but I would like to rant with you this morning about methods of education. And the reason that this has been sparked, it's been churning over in my head for a couple of weeks now, was actually from a comment around how a person can be incredibly successful and be self-taught. And it got me thinking that too many of us think that self-taught means incomplete learning. And that's been sort of bubbling under the surface in my mind for a couple of weeks now. And what I think I wanted to tease out here is why we think that certain forms of learning are better than others. And I think, when the response to the comment that I made was, there's no such thing as learning badly. There's just, well, there definitely is, but there's no such thing as self-taught being wrong inherently because it's something that you've learned for yourself. Instead, you've just learned differently, and I think that should be celebrated. And really, I suppose the conversation that I'd like to open up is a query around why we think education or learning or development needs to be binary. It either happens in a classroom setting, spoon-fed to you by a teacher, or it happens in a kind of a hallowed hall of education. And if you were self-taught and had learned the same things by yourself, somehow that doesn't qualify or is as important or has as much gravitas or weight. So I'd like to know more. Is that something that you have come across in your time where a self-taught competency has been viewed as less complete or less valuable or less valid than something that has a piece of paper attached to it? Now, as someone who has a degree and used to love classroom learning, this has been a real interesting one for me to wrestle with. So do I believe that it needs to be one or the other? Absolutely not, but I would really love to know what you think, because I'd like to understand how that filters into how we do teach ourselves to become better salespeople and how we do teach ourselves to become better communicators. So drop your comments down below and let me know. Don't be shy. I think this is a really important conversation and I would love to know any and all feedback.